thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, Cynthia. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Absolutely. So everybody, this is my friend Jason. Jason is the Global Sales Director for Autonomous. Now, if you're following me, you recently saw the partnership I announced with Autonomous and Jason and his team. I have invited Jason to share his thoughts and approaches with us from a global sales perspective. So Jason, I know that everybody is going to be so excited to hear what you have to say because you're going to share some really key things with us. So are you ready for my question?
I'm ready. Fire away, Cynthia. Let's go.
Okay, fantastic. So being in charge and leading the charge for global sales for Autonomous, what are the top 3 things that you have implemented and put in place with the team to serve your customers and provide solutions during these crazy times in the pandemic? Everyone has been impacted. And so how have you and your team done this? What are the top 3 things that you've done?
Well, thanks for asking. And Autonomous has been lucky in seeing exponential growth during the time. And we've also had to be prepared for that. And then one of the first and most important pieces is really setting your foundational components on how to interact with your customers, but also how your team internally interacts, right? Your number one success will be your ability to respond, right? You're not going to be able to do that unless there's a really strong foundational process within your organization to do that, right up to the executive level. We're very lucky. My CEO is very engaged. Our marketing teams are very engaged, and there's a strong cohesive mind. And that really, we continually modify what that process looks like. So you have to start with a foundational process, and you have to be willing to do some changes. The other part that I alluded to was being able to pivot. Some companies wait way too long to pivot. The old saying is, well, let's give it 2 or 3 months. One thing we've done exceptionally well is we use the data. The data supports decisions that need to be made quickly, right? In our industry, it's high volume, high impact, with very, very large organizations. Now, as we start looking at trends, as we start understanding what's going on, we don't allow long-term time cycles to impact us. So we pivot quickly to respond to anything the customers are talking about. Could be from a product problem to a engagement issue, right? So every organization needs to understand that that is one of the key areas. And then the last piece is meeting the demand. And what I mean, that seems like a general term, but when I say meeting demand, it could be the channel you're going after. It could be the method in which you have to do it. COVID's changed that, right? So traditional models of how you approached your customers, in some cases, no longer exist. Autonomous has been really good. We've actually created brand new channels and brand new approaches, which is really a variation of what's happening. But guess what? The work from home employee or individuals in organizations, they're not in the offices anymore. They're not talking to their procurement groups anymore. They're looking for proper products and solutions to help them out. In a lot of cases, they're on their own. So we've been exceptionally good at making sure our marketing teams and our sales teams are cognizant of how can we meet the demands of the company or the customers that we're going after and the businesses.
Okay, well now that's juicy stuff. So here are the 3 things that I heard. Number 1, the importance of having strong foundational processes, as simple as when we follow up and how we follow up. Second, staying agile and flexible to pivot. Don't fall in love with one specific path or avenue. We need to continue to review the data and logistics to make sure that we are just flexible to pivot. And then the third thing is, as a part of being agile to pivot, also identifying and being proactive and identifying different channels and ways to reach your prospects and customers so they keep coming to you versus you hunting them. How did I do?
100%, right? I love the last part. You're right. They're coming to us. We're not pushing out to them. And that is a big differentiator at Autonomous.
Okay, fantastic. I'm glad I caught that because, you know, before it's pushing, hunting, 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 calling. And the tactic that you and your team in Autonomous are taking is creating content and paths and avenues for people to easily, comfortably come to Autonomous and with a warm approach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. You got it.
So this really good stuff. So thank you very much, because I think that that is, I believe that's one of the things that small businesses to the, one person shop to large corporations, those are great 3 tips. So my next question, if there was one thing you wanted us all to walk away with after listening to you and seeing your smiling face today, what is that one thing you'd like for us to take as a takeaway?
I've worked at a lot of big organizations and private equity firms, and the one thing I can say that we do better than anything I've ever in my whole experience, it's simplicity. And it may sound like an easy word, but you know what? Everyone needs to reflect on how they're doing their day-to-day business, right? Even common interactions with your internal teams or your customers. Are you making it simple to get tasks done? So many organizations, multiple layers, multiple processes, it just belabors everything. What we've seen, and like I said, with the 3, with really understanding your process and pivoting and meeting the demand, it really boils down to simplifying. And I mean, simplifying could be your contract. Simplifying could be how individuals are actually interacting with their company electronically or in person. That would be the biggest thing that we do all the time. And I can say the top 3 areas, I can give you the top 10, but the foundation around that, and it's something our CEO always says, is how do we make it simple, right? Remember the easy button you used to see around years ago? And that's really what I ask my team to do, is like, when you interact with a customer, do they feel it's easy? Have we simplified all the different components within the sales cycle, right? Whether internal or customer facing, to make, that's why our days are so short when we turn around our deals. We're going from weeks and months to days, right? And it all boils down to think, review, and simplify. If you can do that, you're going to see a really quick positive change to your business.
Okay, so here's what I heard you say. Make it easy for them to do business with you, and you'll potentially shorten your sales cycle as well as increase your sales. How did I do?
Yeah, that's good. I like it. You're pretty good. You got it.
Jason, thank you so much for spending time with me today and for sharing such great tips with us. And by the way, everyone, down below will be a link so you can check out Autonomous, as well as Jason will be tagged on this post. So I highly recommend that you check out Autonomous, and you also start following Jason for more tips. Jason, thank you very much, and I wish you the best of luck to close more deals and just simplify things and make life easier for more customers. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Cynthia. I really appreciate the time. Take care, everybody.